She's a single mom. She needs to be saved.
It's not always about money. And one time I was at a funeral and that fool got mad because I was at a funeral. I'm Mauri Goins.
And I'm Dina Blair.
We're single moms
living life for the first time, just like our kids.
Real talk from the carpool to the crib.
A podcast about single motherhood,
Black womanhood,
and everything in between.
And maybe we can make your way in the pickup line a little more bearable.
My name is Dina. You are with me and my girl Mauri here in the pickup line.
Hey, everybody.
And today we're talking about 5 tips for dating single moms. We came across this episode while we've been talking about dating, and we've just been getting some feedback from our male friends who want to know, how do I date a single mom? Like, what's the best way to actually get their foot in the door? So we have 5 tips for them.
The first tip is you've got to completely respect my time. I mean, time is everything. As a single mom, you have schedules, you have places to be, you have practice, you have to take care of your own self, probably work out, etc. And you need somebody that's a strong communicator, somebody that can be open with you, talk to you, communicate with you, and schedule things. I think that being on a schedule is very important because at this point in time, when in your life or my life, I don't know, my time is gold.
Yeah.
So it's like, being a single mom, you don't get paid to be that mom. So you have to have everything scheduled out. And that person that you're dating has to understand your schedule. He has to understand that he has to be dependable. He has to make plans and plan ahead what you guys are going to do for the day. Because if not, he's going to get a whole lot of no's.
Yeah.
A whole lot of no's.
I have an example of that. I actually was going out with this guy, and he was in the habit of like texting me the night of, hey, I'm going to a concert. Meet me, this concert or this and that. And it's like, I don't, my life doesn't work like that. My children are the priority. And if there's a test that we're studying for, or if there's a game that's happening or practice, like, you have to respect my time.
And I think that's common courtesy for somebody that's not a single mom. I think it's just common courtesy in general, because you can't text me late at night and think that I'm gonna make plans with you the next morning, when if you're a single person and you're not a mom, if you have a job, if you have a schedule that you need to maintain, if you have something else going on in your life, you might have made a hair appointment. Like, it could be anything.
It's true.
Right? You just can't text me at night and be like, hey, what's happening? You want to do breakfast in the morning? And I think a lot of times men get intimidated because of that scheduling. Maybe they're not free, or maybe they just happen to be free that day, and they want to be able to holler at you or get with you when it's an open day for them, but they still need to respect kind of boundaries and plan ahead. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and I think that actually leads into tip number 2, which is to be supportive.
Right.
Don't go into the relationship or into the date as like, I need to save her. She's a single mom. She needs to be saved. I think as single moms, like, we hold it down in a way that is like, I don't think anybody else could ever do.
It's important for me to let people know that if I'm making time for you, then that means something, because I really don't have time for just anybody.
So can we pause and just put like a little star next to that comment right there? So all the men that are listening, if a single mom is making time for you, then that means she's actually interested, and you should like proceed and be respectful of her time and be super intentional, because if she's making time, then that speaks volumes.
Right. And let's just put a star on anybody that's making time for you, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a date, whether it's a business meeting, whoever's making time for you at any point, it must mean something. They must value you in some type of way. And I think that men shouldn't be afraid to schedule time with women, because it speaks volumes to who they are and their character, and that you can DM and text somebody all day long, but to sit down and have a cup of coffee and to have a real conversation means something. And I think that a lot of men, because it's so easy to slide up in your DMs, men or women, I don't care who you date who you want to date. I think it's so easy for people to just say, hey, let me take the easier route out and hide behind the text. Right. Because you don't have as much confidence in yourself. And I think that if you are confident in you, you can sit down and make time or plan ahead for a date.
Right.
A day or two ain't gonna hurt nobody.
Right.
It's not gonna hurt nobody. It's gonna be okay to take some time.
And if you really want to date that woman, you'll make the time. You'll take the time to figure out like how to get on her schedule. And just know if you're on her schedule, and if it's a phone call, a response, a text response, or a coffee or a dinner or whatever it is, like she's interested.
Do you remember there was a show out called The Millionaire Matchmaker? Remember her? I love her. And I love Auntie Sumba from Mumbai. But she would always talk and say, schedule the date, plan the date somewhere open, plan the date where you're in a wide open space where you can have a good conversation, limit your alcohol, limit some of the things that you talk about in the beginning of the date, and make sure the date is like very intentional, which is number 3 that we're about to get into. It's like, be clear about your intentions for whoever you're about to date, whether it's a single mom, whether you're on the first date you've been on in 10 years, which just happens to a lot of people, right? You've got to be intentional about what you're planning with that person.
It speaks volumes for me. If I'm going to go on a date with someone, they actually plan the date out. That's one less thing that I have to think about. That's one less plan I have to make. So if someone's interested in dating a single mom, I would say be super intentional and plan it out. Cross all the T's and dot all the I's.
I think your first date, you know how you're on the phone and it's like, or you're texting, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? I don't know where I want to go. I don't care where we go. We'll pick a place. Well, how about somebody just grow some balls, decide where we're going to eat, decide where we're going to have a drink. And for me, this is just me. Don't eat me up. I'd like for my man to do that.
100%.
I'd like for him to be like, yeah, I know this great steakhouse. They have excellent food and, it's really nice. Plan it. I think that's attractive. Yeah. I think if you put the effort into making the plan, then I'm like, yeah, I'm over there. I'm there. Right.
Yeah. And to your point, it's not just for single moms, but I think for women in general, we want that. I think most women, they want that man who's going to step up and plan the date. But for sure, for single moms, we have so many balls in the air at the same time. We're spinning plates and juggling. Like, we have all this stuff happening at once. So someone could come in and say, hey, I want to treat you to this and take you out here because we've had conversations and I know that you like this type of food or you like to go these places. And he actually has listened and he's planned something like that out. That is like, that's definitely going to get your foot through the door.
And that actually shows a little consistency. Like he's listening to you. He is wanting to be consistent with where you go or how many times you go out. This is a funny story. And I hate to say this. So I was going out with this guy years ago. And you know who he is. We're not going to say his name anyway. Lord, because I had kids. This man could never understand why I was late. And I was like, what? And one time I was at a funeral and that fool got mad because I was at a funeral. I'm like, dude, I can't catch a break. Do you understand what it takes for me to get ready to come sit down with you? And when I sit with you, the last thing I want to hear is you yelling at me because I was late. Right. That's my fault. And I should be respectful of his time just as much. But think about if he had planned that date, maybe we wouldn't have known about the funeral, but had he planned that date like a week before, I may not have been late. I may have been able to fix the time a little better. Needless to say, we're not together because we just couldn't get it together. But plan ahead. Let me know. And then you don't have to complain about me being late.
Yeah, give mama some grace.
Right? Because by that time, I done dropped the child off, fixed some food, made dinner, had to take a shower, fix this hair, which is always an issue. So it's like, be consistent. Just like say, hey, let's set a date night. Or even if we can't set a date night and something comes up, let me know a day or two in advance. And I'm cool with that.
So number 1 is to respect her time. Number 2, don't try to fix her or save her. Like come alongside with her and be attentive to what she may need. I think we get used to our independence as single moms because we do so much of all the things on our own. If we can have someone come along with us and just be like, what do you need? Or I have trouble with people asking me what I need. It's more for me, like, see what I need and just kind of like be able to provide that. So those are the first 2, right?
Again, that's communication because if it was the person that you're dating, that person's going to be like, Well, how do you expect me to see what you need? I can't come to your house because
Right.
if I'm single and I'm dating you, you're not coming to my house.
Right. At
I
all.
mean, you're not coming. Like, right. You're not welcome in my space until I get to know you.
Yeah.
Well.
Right.
Because I'm uncomfortable that it especially since I'm an empty nester. It's just me and Louie.
Well, when you have children,
well, you ain't coming with Louie anyway.
Right.
You're not coming with Louie anyway, right? I don't think you're coming for that. I don't. I just and okay, to that point, number 4.
But number 3.
We already did 3.
What's 3?
3. Be clear about your intentions.
Oh, I missed that.
So we can recap. Number 3 is being clear.
3.
Yeah,
because
being clear.
I'm not clear.
Okay. Oh my God, you stupid. That is stupid. Okay, so let's be clear. Tell us how you're clear about that. How do you feel about that?
How clear with your intentions?
I know you're strong on intentions.
I am strong on intentions, and number 1 and number 2 for sure. Number 1 for sure. I don't like my time being wasted. So, my children are my priority. My work is my priority until someone comes along and is able to be like, hey, I got this, I got that.
Listen,
that's
y'all,
going to be my focus.
Do not mess with mama's money maker. Do not mess with mama's money maker. She does not play that shit at all. I mean, you yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So be clear with intentions. Say what it is you want up front. Like, I'm very be upfront with what it is your intentions are. And maybe you don't know right off the bat.
Put yourself in the person. I don't want to necessarily say men because there's all kind of dating out there. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. So when you say be clear about your intentions, give me an example of what you want them to say.
So I would say initially, like, we're just getting to know each other. Right. But there are some men out there who they want it to be super casual and they're dating, more than one woman, which is fine. But I would like to know that's where you are in this relationship. And then if it progresses to the point where you're like, hey, it just be me and you, let's just date exclusively you and I, then again, back to communication. Let's be really clear on that.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think
so. That's good. So now that we're clear on those intentions.
Because it's a whole lot of, what do you call it? Catfishing? Like, people be catfishing people.
Switching
like on dating sites. Like if it's me trying to figure out how I'm going to get on a dating site to meet somebody, to do all these things, it's not happening because I need a manual to read that. Like, I'm not going to be sitting up at night swiping who to date and try to figure all this out. I can't do that. So unless I meet you at Publix, or now, the trending thing on TikTok is meeting somebody at Costco. Have you seen that?
I met somebody at Costco.
Oh my God. Okay, go ahead. Tell us the story.
I'm not going to tell the story.
Tell us the story.
I'm not going to tell the story. I'm not going to tell the story because it was crazy. Because he was just like going around the store meeting people. Dang! Because I saw him shooting his game at some other woman in the grocery store by the yogurt at Costco. I was like, this dude.
He's a Costcoer. Like, what? Come on, he's a Costco dater.
Whatever.
He's just going through the aisles, picking people.
He's really not worth much more of our conversation.
Not at all. Next. Okay, so this is the next thing. So you don't meet somebody in Costco, this sketch. Meeting my kids. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
No, is that one of the tips?
Yes. The next tip is don't rush into meeting the kids.
Oh yeah, don't rush into meeting the kids. And also don't step in, like, once a relationship starts, like, just try to get to know the children, like, get to know them for who they are rather than like step in and like be a father. Like, I don't think that's necessary.
I think, and a lot of women, like, I've had people agree with me and disagree with me. I've had people say to me, you've been seeing him and you won't let him meet your kids. No, my kids probably don't even know anything about you. And that's okay, because I don't want somebody that I'm unsure of and that there's a doubt, or somebody, like you said, that I'm just hanging out with.
Yeah.
You don't need to be in my space. You can be in my space at dinner. You can be in my space at a game, or while we're doing something where we're just having fun. If there is no clear intention that you and I are going to be in a relationship, then you don't need to meet my kids. You don't need to know where I live. You don't need to come over. I mean, I can meet you where I'm going to meet you. And then if it transforms into something bigger and better, then you could meet my kids publicly. But it won't be in their space.
Yeah. And if you're someone who's truly interested in a relationship with the single mom, then I would say you take an interest in the children, like a pure interest in the children, and get to know them. Because at that point, if we're in a relationship, you will meet my children if we're in a relationship, but take an interest in the children for who they are as children, not because they're my children, if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
You know, like get to know them for who they are, because it is a package, and that will be like, and I, you know, well, that'll be like maybe could be a deal breaker. Like maybe there's not um, a good connection there, and that matters. Like a connection between me and the person I'm dating and my children matters. Like how are you showing up at the plays and the games, and what advice do you have to give as far as like studying for a particular test or getting into college, or because that's the life that I'm living. Right. And so whatever if you're stepping into my life, like those are the types of things I'm going to turn to my partner to be able to
and there's
have some advice.
Cases I have friends and people that I know that have met their partners at the kids' sporting events,
sure,
or at the kids' school, or at the kids' play. I mean, it's going to happen where it's going to happen. I believe that, you know, as I said in the last episode, we weren't meant to live alone. Like God didn't intend for us not to have a soulmate. God didn't intend for us to not have somebody. And I think that, genuinely speaking, I think that God has somebody for everybody. And I think that when you're dating somebody, a kid should be a part of your conversation. Like if I'm your friend, because I want to date my friend. If I'm your friend, then you're going to know what Mariah did yesterday. You're going to know that Mariah forgot her shoe at the volleyball tournament. You're going to know these things because that's going to be a part of my everyday conversation. Hey, what are you doing? I'm fixing dinner. I'm doing this. I'm helping somebody. The tutor's on our way. Those should be things that he's interested in. So how long have you had the tutor? What are you cooking for dinner? What did you do this? How did she forget her shoe? Like, it's not your job to reprimand my kid for losing her shoe. Just your job to just listen to the fact that I'm frustrated that she left the shoe. Right. And hopefully, if it's the right person, they're saying, well, kids make mistakes. Right?
Yeah, there was somebody there was someone I was kind of like talking to, and it happened where we were going to a pool party and my daughter forgot her swimsuit, and I was just like, it was one of those days I was like, one more thing.
A mom moment.
One more thing.
A mom moment.
Totally a mom moment. Like we're literally going to a pool party. You don't have your swimsuit. Like what? And he was like, just run to the store and grab her one.
Yeah.
He was like, basically,
and
get
that's
out
when
of your,
the bell
get out
rings.
of your feelings.
And that's when the bell rings.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah. He was like, get out of your feelings. Good answer. Just go get her swimsuit.
But I've dated people that were like, oh, your child is so spoiled. Why do you let her do that? Why don't you get her in order? Well, first of all, this ain't 1927, and we don't get our kids in order. We discipline our kids. We have conversations with our kids. And second of all, I don't see your kids. Right? What?
So be an example.
I mean, yes. Also, another thing, when you're dating that person, you need to know the relationship they have with their kids. If you haven't met somebody's kids and y'all been dating for a year, that's pretty bad.
Like for real.
Like
dating.
You should be able to introduce your kids to somebody. And if you're with a man you never seen with his kids, he's never talking about his kids, he's never saying anything about his grandkids, and he's just all about you, and you don't know anything about his personal space.
So that's like a bonus tip for the men dating single moms is like share your life, like share
absolutely
what's happening with your children or your grandchildren or, you know, whatever, your work. I mean, I actually like hearing about, because I like business. I like working. Like I like hearing about the person I'm seeing. I like hearing about their life. So like share that with me. I would say number 5 is recognize her as a woman, not just a mom. So you can do that by, you know, having conversations about her day, but also, like we said earlier, plan the date. Hear what she's saying. Maybe she needs, you know, a day away, or maybe stop by her office and drop off, you know, lunch for her or whatever. Like flirt with her, tell her how pretty she is, like whatever it is that speaks to her love language, like find out what that is and treat her as a woman, not just a mom.
And I think that would, in any relationship, speak to the emotional stability of the other person, right? I think that speaks to his comfort zone. If he's comfortable in giving compliments, if he's comfortable in making sure that you're okay, if he's comfortable in seeing how your day was. It's not always about money. It's not always about the money or what you can do for me or what you have for me. It's about the little things. Like my daughter dates a guy that always gives her flowers. like she may travel a lot. When she comes home, she's got this big, beautiful bouquet of flowers. You know, my son and his wife, he'll leave her little notes, or he'll take her to places like she wanted to go to upstate New York to see the goats. They're seeing the goats. Right. And she didn't ask for that last week. She's been talking about that's what she likes. So he planned a trip for her to do that. And things like that help women feel emotionally secure with a man, right? So it's not always just financial security, a reason that you need to be with somebody. You need to be with somebody that helps your mental health, your emotional health, your stability and your well-being. And I think those are things that men need to work on when they're dating a woman. Not just, oh, she fine, I'm about to holler at her, her body's straight, it's all good. Because you could be with the finest woman in the world, and on the inside, she's broken. And nobody can have a good relationship when both parties are broken. It's unhealthy, and it's not good for the kids, and it leads to a state of confusion. And that's something that I would just steer clear of. I would just be making sure that the person I'm dating isn't a narcissist. Right? Like, you know, because when you're older, you need to know these things, because when you're alone, like I am as an empty nester, there has to be warning signs. And, you know, my kids I listen to my kids. When I dated this one guy, my daughter did not like him. Like, I could not sell this man to her for nothing. And do you understand that I thank God for that? Because that showed me that that's not what God had for me. Even though I felt like, oh yeah, he's stable, he's older, he's cool, she was not having it. And I think listening to your friends, your kids, getting advice on this person, and letting people know where you're at when you're going on the dates, where you're meeting them at, what you're doing. I think those are all good things, you know, for women that are single with kids.
Yeah. So we hit all 5 of our tips. All 5 of our tips for men who are interested in dating single women. You have anything you want to say, like, to
I do. I want to say, I do, just to wrap it up. I think that men should work on dating 101. Go back to the old school, the way it was. Like, meet people with intentions. Ask for a phone number. Have a conversation. If you see a beautiful woman, or if you see a fine man, and, you know, I believe in he who finds a wife finds a good thing. But if you see that person and you're like, oh my God, I see this person at this place every week, I wonder if they're married and they don't have on a ring. Because I don't do married men. I don't like that. And they don't have on a wedding ring or something. Approach the person. Hey, how are you? How you doing today? Are you having a good day? I mean, it's okay. I speak to people in general when I'm walking in Publix. Hey. But if you see a woman that you're interested in dating, be that man that she wants. Date her. Ask her out. Can I have your phone number? Is it okay if I text you this evening? You know, how are you? And the first time you go on a date, don't ask her to go to a club. Just say, hey, you want to meet for a cup of coffee, lunch? Do something simple. You want to meet in the park and have a well, maybe not the park, because that's kind of sketch, right? You might get scared of that. I might.
A park?
Yeah. Would you go to the park?
I think a picnic would be sweet.
Oh, that's really nice.
No, I think that'd be cute. Or like an outdoor concert or something like that. I think things like that are things that men should think about, those types of things. Because you mentioned like money, like, of course, a woman, I think most women want to be taken care of. I think it's innately in us for that. Even though we're very independent, we can make our own money, we can do all these things. I think we still want to be pampered a little bit.
Secure.
Yeah,
they want to feel security.
That is security. That's security.
Correct.
But yeah, like, be creative and think of ways that you can take the mom out of the space that she's in, or take if you're working with a
home run.
Like, do that.
Take
kind
her
of
out
stuff.
of the space she's in.
Yeah,
home run.
Just do that kind of stuff.
Home run. Yep.
But that requires conversation. To your point of dating 101, that's actually having a real conversation and wanting to get to know the person.
And also, don't date me because you want me to be your mom.
Oh God,
that ain't happening. Like, right? I'm not raising any more men. I've got a son that I've raised. I'm not dating somebody to raise him or to teach him how to treat my kids or me. That's off. But that's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show.
Always.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it, fellas. So based on the comments
you
received,
you asked,
you get it.
And we answered. And if we didn't touch on something, y'all let us know. Thanks for watching. Thank you for tuning into this episode of The Pickup Line.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch us.
And listen to us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.